Welcome to the Miami Condo Minute. I'm Peter Zalewski. I'm a condo consultant. I'm also the founder of the Miami Condo Investing Club. Check out the website, miamicondo.club. If you give me a minute, I'll give you some valuable information about the South Florida condo market. What are we talking about today? We are talking about the final 2 weeks of the 2025 Florida legislative session that's scheduled to end on Friday, May the 2nd, and whether there will be financial relief for owners of condominiums in the state of Florida, especially those owners who live in buildings that are at least 30 years old and facing rising maintenance fees and surging special assessments that are required to maintain these old condo buildings. All of this is coming to a head in the next 2 weeks where Florida Governor Ron DeSantis, who recently gave a press conference criticizing the House bill introduced by Miami State Representative Vicky Lopez, who represents Key Biscayne and Greater Downtown Miami, and showing his support for a Senate bill introduced by Miami State Senator Ileana Garcia. Ultimately, what this comes down to, according to the governor, is that the House bill is pro-developer, anti-unit owner, and the Senate bill is pro-unit owner, anti-developer. There's a lot of cross currents right now in the state of Florida related to condominium. Why? Well, because back in June of 2021, Champlain Tower South collapsed in Surfside. Nearly 100 people died. There was a $1 billion settlement paid out to the families of the victims. And as a result, the Florida legislature took a number of steps urged on by the insurance industry to try to ensure nothing like this ever happened again. Let's listen to a clip from Florida Governor Ron DeSantis, courtesy of WFLA Channel 8, the NBC affiliate in Tampa.
Here in Southern Florida, we've got a problem with our condo market right now. We have a problem that was introduced by legislation that was passed in recent years by the Florida legislature. And if you go back and look at the genesis of why that happened, we remember the Surfside, we remember things. The intentions of the legislation were good. I think they were trying to prevent potentially another major tragedy. And we all remember how gut-wrenching it was to watch the aftermath of Surfside, not knowing whether you could have survivors for days and days, hoping. It was a really traumatic moment for the state. So I understand why people wanted to see something done. Now, I remember at the time, people were asking me, and I was like, well, we don't even know definitively what caused the Surfside thing. If you do something without knowing that, you could end up with some unintended consequences. And so the time I said, legislature should talk to their folks. They should figure out what they want to do. I'm not going to stand in the way of it, but I also know we're going to have an open mind on this. And you may have to come back and revisit some of the things that were done if there are some unintended consequences.
Fast forward to this Florida legislative session, and now the finer details of the legislation that's been put in place are starting to finally come